The endless fight to see the strongest was happening non-stop. Even right now there was an enormous monster fighting against a lion monster with bat wings. The gigantic demon tried to hit the lion beast but failed. The red lion monster gave him a heavy punch with a strong fist. Then when the lion monster exerted a punch with its best power, the huge monster was successfully thrown up to tens of meters. However, the monster still managed to get up and taunt the red lion, saying that its attack was just tickling. A thunderous laugh rang out from the demonic beast. He was deliberately provoking his opponent with an extremely mocking laugh. It seems that this monster named Gargaz is strong enough so that he is not injured by Balak's attack, the red lion. Balak flew above while glaring at his opponent intently. He replied slightly to Gargaz's words, causing the big monster to immediately become emotional. The two of them were again involved in a fairly fierce battle. Fighting power and big explosions cannot be avoided in the fight between these two very strong creatures. Even so, Balak pressed on and struck his enemy without hesitation. Even though this red lion beast was smaller than Gargaz, it never hesitated against its enemies. With a punch with all his might, Balak smashed into Gargaz's massive body, until finally the big monster fell from a height and disappeared. When he just landed, Balak was immediately attacked by a flock of one-eyed goblins. They all rushed Balak, blocking his view and keeping him from focusing. Balak knew this was just a cheap trick used by Gargaz to distract him. But still, this red lion monster is overwhelmed by the many goblins. Until finally the goblins caught Balak's arms, legs, and wings. They deliberately blocked Balak's movement because Gargaz reappeared and punched him as hard as he could. Hell is shaken. The land above hell was torn apart because of this extraordinary Gargaz attack. The moment this demonic beast raised its arms, it knew the target had escaped again. Balak hurtled towards Gargaz saying that playing time was over. This red lion beast attacked with both arms blazing with fire. Due to Balak's quick and powerful attack, Gargaz's stomach was successfully pierced. So with this, Balak managed to land slowly on the land of hell. Meanwhile, his opponent, the Gargaz, fell and couldn't get up again. In this non-stop battle, everyone thought that there would never be an eternal victor, until the man appeared. Who is that man? And where is he? Balak, the winner of the duel in the first chapter, is now looking down with sweat pouring down his face. This is being bowed before a person along with the other demons. Silence engulfed the Demon King's castle at this time. They all could only sit bowed facing the figure who was now dwelling on his throne. The Demon Lord, this black monstrous will had purple flames burning all over its body. He is the zenith of all demons. Balak asked once again why his master wanted to return to where he came from, even though he already got everything in hell. There was an instant silence as the Demon Lord didn't say a word. The purple flames all over his body suddenly surged, indicating that the owner was angry. Instantly Balak and the other demons trembled in fear at the Demon King's anger. Balak even broke out in cold sweat considering that the fire in his master's body could absorb the bodies and skills of every demon he touched. This ability is so strong that it can defeat the 7 archdukes who have so far been unable to defeat each other. He is the king of the demons, because only the Demon King can devour all the cucumbers in hell. It was only natural that Balak and the other demonic creatures would tremble in fear, afraid of being eaten when the king was angry. The king finally spoke up. He felt trapped for 10,000 years in that place. The scenery in that place never changed for a day and it made the Demon King bored to the point of anger. Moreover, every day there is only slaughter and continue to slaughter. Suddenly this Demon King released his black head which turned out to be just some kind of armor. Now the real face of the king demon appears, which turns out to be a human named Okangwu. Balak suspected that the king was angry because he was hungry, so he ordered the other demons to fetch some food. After a while, they returned with a very large tray complete with a round lid. Balak said the food might not have been much, but it was a testament to his loyalty. When the cover was opened, what appeared was the head of a devil in the shape of an octopus that looked so hideous and nauseated. Without further ado, Okangwu immediately threw the hideous creature on the tray right into Balak's face. He screamed that there was no way he could eat the thing. Okangwu said he didn't want to eat such a terrible creature. He wanted to eat the mustard greens kimchi drenched in a really good red tomato sauce. Everyone in the room was astonished to hear the word kimchi, because they had never heard of it before. But some demons cheered excitedly and wanted to find the food for the Demon King. But they even suspect that kimchi is raw meat that is still complete with fresh blood. Spontaneously, Okangwu got even angrier hearing that. The strongest demons lined up neatly willing to accept orders to find whatever hero beast their master wanted. This made the Demon King even more frustrated. No matter how he explains it, these demons will never understand the meaning of the kimchi he wants. Because demons don't know the concept of sensible food. They only thought that food was as simple as eating a defeated enemy. They didn't even understand even though Okangwu said several times that he wanted to read novels and comics. This made him more frustrated. Balak suddenly lowered his head again, prostrated himself, and begged for forgiveness for not being able to satisfy the Demon King with his weak abilities. He even asked to be killed for not being able to do his job properly. Kangwu became increasingly frustrated seeing the attitude of this one monster. Kangwu muttered and wished that at least he had someone to love in that hell-class place. Suddenly a girl with long legs at the end of the hall replied that at least the king had her. The woman stepped so gracefully towards the king's throne. The other demons were amazed by the beauty of this woman named Lilith, because she is the best beauty in hell. As soon as this woman arrived in front of Kangwu, SH asked if having his heart was not enough for the king. Kangwu could only be silent looking at this woman who had many eyes on her face. How could Kangwu, who is a normal human, like a woman with a demonic appearance like this? That's not possible. Kangwu kept chasing her away several times, but this demonic woman always came back to him. Now even Lilith dared to tug at the king's arm, making Kangwu put on a face of disgust and annoyance. It's different with Kangwu, it's different with the devils who are crazy about Lilith's charm. But for Kangwu, no matter how beautiful this monster succubus was, she would not be able to match the beautiful oneness Kangwu hoped for. So this young man kept on refusing even though Lilith was trying to spread his charms and give herself up. So in reality, Lilith's ugliness could even make a monster like Balak turn cute. Kangwu understands that someone who is in love often doesn't look at appearances. But this was too extreme for Kangwu's logic. Suddenly the demon king clenched his fist and said he wanted to go back to where he came from. Instantly the demons panicked again hearing the king's request. They tried to persuade and seduce Kangwu not to return to Earth. But his intentions had not changed since 10,000 years ago. The more persuaded, Kangwu's will become more solid. Because 10 years after falling into hell, Kangwu's preparations were finally finished. This young man walked away from the throne and royal chambers thinking that it was time to get a reward after suffering for 10,000 years in hell. Not forgetting this, young man turned around and called Balak to prepare his tools. What tools did Kangwu prepare to return to Earth? Balak, who was not willing for the king to leave, looked reluctant when he was ordered to prepare the tool. Immediately Kangwu made an angry face and asked if Balak wanted to hear that order again. This red lion demon was instantly frightened seeing the anger on its king's face. He immediately prostrated himself and begged for mercy. Only then did Balak order the other demons to summon Ammon to complete the preparations for the 7 archdukes. Not long ago there was a dwarf demon holding a large staff while continuing to chant. Around it were several large stone statues in the shape of demons appearing to be holding something. Between the statues is a special altar connected by long steps. At the end of the stairs, Kangwu was accompanied by Balak, who said that the preparations had been completed. Without hesitation, Kangwu stepped towards the altar amidst the huge statues. Before going up to the altar, this young man removed all of his demonic armor. So with this, you can see the muscular body of an ordinary teenage human. Before entering the altar, Ammon the Black Magician warned Kangwu that if he put too much demonic energy into the 7 archdukes' equipment, he would bend the boundaries of time and space. Then Kangwu could forcefully open the dimensional gap. Kangwu was not afraid to hear that. He just wanted to get back to Earth soon. So with eyes full of confidence, Kangwu stepped inside the altar. The young man's body was immediately enveloped by a large amount of demonic energy. He could feel that he was releasing the core of demonic energy within his body to return home. Purplish demonic light immediately radiated strongly from Kangwu's body. The demonic energy was so strong that the demons around it covered their faces. Ammon said that the demonic energy of the king was indeed very powerful, because it was peerless demonic energy. Ammon was very happy to see the energy. Kangwu's strong demonic energy managed to make the eyes of the statues around him open. Slowly, one by one, the statues' eyes opened until finally, the 7 statues opened their eyes fully. Ammon shouted with pleasure at this. He informed Kangwu that the 7 statues had reacted, and the gate would open soon. Hearing Ammon's warning, Kangwu thought that even if he made it back, his family, friends, and girlfriend would no longer be there. But Kangwu didn't mind that. With full confidence, this young man stepped through the gate between dimensions, leaving his subordinates crying sadly, especially Lilith. This succubus creature shed tears crying for Kangwu's departure, so Kangwu casually asked this demonic woman not to be sad and not to get in his way. But Lilith instead took Kangwu's words as a form of seduction, and such. She was hoping and suspecting that Kangwu would return her feelings. When he saw Lilith getting more and more exaggerated, Kangwu grew even more disgusted. Quickly this young man jumped into the gate leaving Lilith, who was clean and determined to follow him anywhere. When the dimensional